So welcome back, it's Nick from the coach station. Now this next stop is at the Bandeja. So let's get into it. Now this Bandeja is the original, and this is how I first learned when I came from tennis into paddle, and definitely a shot that really all of your players should be picking up as part of their game. Now with all of the How to Teach series, we start with the tactical purpose. So the tactical purpose of the Bandeja is to play a shot, an overhead, around head height from post 3 into the corner to allow you time to regain the net. The Bandeja is the shot to allow us time to regain the net. We're not trying to win the point from this. We're trying to cause disruption, we're trying to push the players back, and we're trying to get back to the net. Now, exactly where the Bandeja is played is a little bit dependent on where the opponent is. So if the opponent is pulled out wide in the corner, you could play a Bandeja back down the middle and then come forward again to the net. Now, if there's more space out to the side, you might play the Bandeja here and then go back into the corner. So it really does depend on where your opponent is as to the type of shot direction that you'd play the Bandeja, and also the skill level that they have. Sometimes it can be slow if the player stayed back, and then that will cause problems when it touches the glass. Or sometimes it might need to be a little bit quicker and actually rebound a little bit more if the player is really agile and moving from side to side. So you play that shot behind them. Wow, that was so noisy. I've come to try and find a quieter court. So I think I've got a quieter court because I want to now explain the technical aspects of the Bandeja. Now, when we start off, what we're after is we'd be near post 2 because we'd be at the net, and we'd be in that ready position. Now, the thing I want to highlight here in this ready position is what your feet are looking like. So I want to imagine that your foot is like a tripod. So at the front, you have the balls of your feet, and at the back, you have a heel. Okay, so when we're at the net, we need to be on the balls, on these 2 front parts of the tripod, so we're sat like that. So the feet are here, balls of the feet, racket up ready in that ready position, okay, and that's a really important starter because actually we want to be able to get back and spring really quickly back for the Bandeja. So now we're set, feet on the balls of the feet. Now the first move we're going to make is, as soon as we see this is Bandeja, okay, we're going to go here, we're going to get the upper body turning and sidestepping back towards the ball. Now we're going to sidestep if it's a small distance. It's easier to maintain a sideways position if you sidestep back. So it's from this position, sidestep, sidestep, sidestep to get you in a good position, on balance and on time, ready to play your shot. The reason so many players make an error with the Bandeja is actually that movement is not sideways and they backpedal like this to the ball. So if you're backpedaling, what happens is your body stays square to the net and actually you play the ball downwards, which ends up being too bouncy. So we remember right at the start, the tactical purpose is to keep the ball low into the corners and maintain the net. If that ball is bouncing too high, then your player is going to be too easy to get the ball back on you. So sidestepping instead of backpedaling is the first move that we need to make. At the same time as sidestepping, the hands go up to the side. The hands are going up to the side, and actually in this position, you can see that the hands have gone up. This left arm, I'm right-handed, so this left arm goes out to the side, and I've actually got my wrist in a position here where the racket has gone pointing out towards the glass on the other side. So it goes back, points out, because I'm starting to set this racket in the right place to be able to then come down the back of the ball. Now, the literal translation of Bandeja is tray in Spanish. So if this was a tray, this is a waiter carrying a tray, waitress carrying a tray, a tray of drinks. So it's sat up like this. That really has helped me with a lot of players understand what this is like. Some people would say, yeah, but it's not actually going to go like this through the ball. No, it's not, but it does help people to understand that you've got to lay the racket back. So from this position where I've got my hand out here, it will end up coming through somewhere like this, the classic Bandeja, with the contact to eye height, keeping the ball down nice and low with that backspin, with that racket face open. We've gone from feet position, balls of the feet, side steps, racket out to the side with a side step like this, hand is ready, and then the contact point is going to be at eye height and to the side of the body, a comfortable way away. So not too close, not too far away, but just a comfortable distance here. So it's going to be up, sidestep here, and from that sort of position on the court, and then get back to the net, ready for the next shot. So the contact needs to be eye height here, because that actually is a little bit lower and it's going to stick low into the glass. So if we've got the racket face coming underneath the ball here, and at eye height, we can keep the ball low, which makes it harder for our opponent and easier for us when we get back to the net. If the contact point is too high here, the ball just bounces back out and it makes it much harder for me to get in. With biomechanics, if we want to increase speed on the ball, we use as many body parts as we can. So for example, with a vibra, use your shoulder, use your elbow, use your wrist, use your hand. But for a bandeja, you could set up with a bent elbow here, but actually, what you're trying to do is going to not create too much power, so you don't need the elbow in, you don't need the wrist in, and you can lock this out to be able to get a nice solid contact and a consistent contact. So we spoke about side steps to the ball, to get on balance, on time, make a good contact, eye height, to hit the ball nice and deep in the corner. But if you have to get there quickly, then the first step should be a crossover, get your hips facing this way, and then open up. So it would be from here, cross, open, and then the bandeja, then coming back into the net. That crossover step really helps to really spring you backwards to be able to get in the right position on balance and on time for the shot. So during contact here, on a bandeja, the body will open and then you'll be able to come forwards to the net. So rather than maintaining sideways through the shot, then it would be here, back, and opening out the body to allow us to then go back forwards to the net. Opening out our body like that helps us to be able to get more upper body rotation, which will ultimately get more force on the ball. As long as we've got a stable wrist and elbows not too bent, that will help us to create pace and depth on the ball. And then it also allows us to come back quickly. So if we're like this, and we've gone up here, turn, we can move quickly back to the net. Now it is worth mentioning with the bandeja that a continental grip and just slightly moved round to the side will help. Now that continental grip and slightly move round to the side allows the racket face to open up here. If it was a really genuine continental grip, it'd be very difficult to get underneath here because of the wrist position. So a slight turn on the grip towards the eastern side will then be able to help them get underneath the ball a little bit better. Now the bandeja can be played from the left or the right. When we play it from the right hand side, if the ball's come over my left shoulder a little bit, potentially that ball is a little bit higher on my contact than it would have been over here from the left side, where I've got a slightly lower contact because it's my open side. So from the right hand side, a bandeja might be here more from this position, might be more over my head. It's not completely a gancho because a gancho would be from behind, but the bandeja might be slightly higher position from the right hand side, just because of the nature of that side coming over my left shoulder. Okay, so in summary, balls of the feet on the tripod, ready position, racket up. As we turn, upper body turns, racket gets ready, side steps over a small distance. Elbow can be relatively straight, but like soft extension. Racket comes through the ball like this at 45 degrees, coming underneath it at eye height, and then recover back to the net. Thinking that as you land, you're making your body go more open to make it go back easier to get back to the net. And that's it. We've reached the end of the stop here. Hope you've enjoyed the session on the bandeja. Go and enjoy that shot, and I'll see you on the next one.